guys, Robert here with the Piston Slab channel, and today I want to talk to you about the DRZ400 as a motorcycle in itself. Pretty much nothing else other than, is this DRZ any good for single track? Well, as you can see in the last couple of videos I've done, plus probably a bajillion other ones out there on the internet, it probably is a good bike for the single track, but is there something better? Well, yeah, I'm going to say there is a lot better bike, mainly because you could probably get something that's a lot lighter, so wouldn't wear you down quite as much. But before we go into, spending, let's just take a new bike, for example, spending anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 on a new dirt bike, is the DRZ any good? In my personal opinion, I think it is. I think a lot of it has to do with you as a rider. It's not the bike, it's you. Believe it or not, there's so much that a skilled rider could do with a piece of crap bike. And I'm not saying the DRZ is a piece of crap. I'm just saying that if you had a piece of crap bike and you were a really good rider, you could probably show somebody that had a really expensive lightweight bike that wasn't as good of a rider or any good at all, just say a beginner, for instance. So what I've been doing with the DRZ lately is just, tweaking the suspension a little bit. I think I'm going to mess with the gearing a little bit more to get it more suited for the single track riding. While I have the E model, so not to change gears there real quick on you guys, so it's got like the 14 tooth in the front and I think a 47 in the rear, and to some of the dirt bike guys that might sound kind of high, but the gearing inside the transmission of the bike is already quite low, so I think just one step down in the front might be the cat's meow for that. So going back to, is there a better bike? Yeah, there definitely is, out of the box, probably a bajillion bikes that are better. Pick your manufacturer. What do you want to do? Yamaha, KTM, Suzuki, any of them. They all make a better bike, but look at this, the DRZ, it's an old bike. It's been around a long time. You could go buy a brand new Suzuki DRZ and still have the same bike that I'm riding today. Essentially the same bike. The guys that are in the DRZ crowd know that there's a big difference between the 400E and what you buy today. But, bike for bike, it's pretty close. Take a moment
to enjoy that look.
So moving on, maybe it's the rider. Well, beautiful. For me, it most certainly is the rider. While every time I get a chance to go out, I learn something new, I practice new technique, I do get on the internet and research how to do something better, how to ride something better. Going faster isn't always the answer to that. I see that a lot on the internet, researching and stuff, is speed may help you on some things, but it's the slow technical stuff that's really going to get you, whether it be an uphill or a downhill climb. And I'm kind of watching this right now as I'm recording this this downhill section that I'm going at, coming up here in a couple minutes or something like that, or so. You're going to see me just kind of look to the sky, and what happened was I actually caught a branch to the visor of my helmet, and it almost peeled me off the bike. It actually hurt. It took like probably 2-3 days to get healed up. So actually it looks like it's about a minute from here. I was a little bit ahead of schedule on that, but anyway, this is a pretty gnarly downhill section for us. We're actually kind of skidding the rear tire a little bit. I'm still trying to keep up a little bit of momentum to keep up with my friend, but it's still uphills, downhills, we all have our struggles. I struggle with uphill. I don't mind downhill as much. For some reason, I just worry about the bike peeling up and flipping over me. So here you can see I'll drop down this little thing, and let's see, where is it? Right there. That little branch you just saw just caught me and peeled me right off the bike. And of course, I'm like, what was that? Turn around, look. I don't see anything. I'm reaching up and feeling for my visor.
Holy
yeah, that could have really hurt if I was going a lot faster.
Don't fall down that.
Yeah, as a rider, back to that, my skill set is needing a huge amount of improvement, and unfortunately this is the only way I'm going to get better at riding. Unless I want to shell out lots of money to go to fancy riding schools and learn how to do these techniques, which I would love to do, and I'm not knocking the guys that do it. but with the budget I've got, I'm lucky if I have to save up for an oil change. It's silly, right? So I can tell you a little bit about my problems as a rider. First one right off the top is I am physically out of shape. You know, I could run a mile, but I'm not going to run a mile like somebody that's in shape. So there's that. Lifting the bike up over logs and stuff repeatedly throughout the day tends to wear you down. That kind of leans back to, you know, getting a better bike, maybe a lighter bike. But then again, if you learn and work and get into shape and get a better skill set, wouldn't you be a better rider on a heavier bike? You know, just a question there or a thought. Second thing is according to my doctor, I'm about 40 pounds overweight. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm bouncing between 205 to 210, and I'm almost 6 foot tall, so apparently my doctor thinks I should look like a stick figure on the back of somebody's truck. So yeah, there's that. You know, my weight, the bike's weight, being out of shape, we're just stacking things on into that negative category that doesn't work out so well for us. You can really tell it here in these creek beds and stuff that it just works me. You know, I'm trying my best to stand up. I end up sitting down and I'll stand back up, and it just wears on me over and over again. Of course, you know, when you got to stop and wait for your friend to do silly little burnouts in the creek bottom trying to get over rocks, that doesn't help either. But, you know, there again, it adds to the skill set of learning to start in a rough setting and then immediately stand up and just get going. Not always is it appropriate to stand, from what I've understood and researched. Sometimes you do need to just kind of paddle your way through things to get that momentum and then stand. So that falls right into my category of more skill and more practice. Yeah, so other than that, guys, you know, back to it. Is the DRZ any good at single track? I think the bike's fantastic at single track. While it's not going to be, you know, that awesome 450 sound ripping through the woods, or that two-stroke, you know, which that sounds cool too. It's a good bike. It's going to do what you need it to do. I haven't yet maxed the bike out, you know, physically. Like, you know, my abilities, I can't override a bike. I think the bike does more than what I can physically do with it right now at this time. You know, and then there's always the aftermarket possibilities of what you can change on this bike to make it better. And, you know, some will say, you know, arguments, well, you know, more power, more torque,
this
more
week
this, more
on
that.
Up a Creek Without a
Sometimes
Paddle.
more isn't always better. In certain cases,
on a
yeah.
trail.
I've seen certain bikes out there that, you know, haven't got enough power to just climb up a nice grade on a dirt road, let alone a single track up the side of a hill. But there again, skill. A skilled rider would know to get some speed, get a good run at it. Some certain instances you won't have that area to get a run at things, and you're just, you know, I don't know, up a creek without a paddle, I guess you'd say. So anyway, that's what I gotta say. From here on out, you know, just kind of enjoy the video. There's not much left of it. It's just gonna be motors, creeks, and heavy breathing. I'm Robert with the Piston Slap channel. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys on the next one.
I like the way you work it. Good God, man.